Welcome to the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I'm Danielle D, or Coach Danni D, and I help women entrepreneurs and professionals to achieve their personal success stories that include joy, fulfillment, and balance. This is where we talk about how to build your business in a way that allows you to work with ease, be successful, and enjoy your life. My happy place is spending as much time in my PJs as humanly possible. And I want to help other women find their happy space while running profitable businesses or having a successful career. So get comfortable and let's dig in. Hello and welcome to the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I am your host, Coach Danni D, always here helping you to find that space of balance, of joy, of fulfillment, just, making sure that you are living your life today. So, I'm gonna touch a couple of things today. Y'all know if a theme comes into my existence, I have to speak on it with you guys because I feel like God gave me that theme, keep coming up for a reason because somebody needs to hear it for whatever reason that may be. So there's a couple of things this week. This week was a interesting week. I am, an 80s, 90s baby. So, of course, I was completely disheartened to find out about the passing of Malcolm Jamal Warner. And I'm still kind of, it's still a little surreal to me because to me, he was the representation of, you know, just Black boy joy and just, he gave a different take on black male just persona, right? And just, throughout his career. And so, that um just having that loss and having that loss of somebody that, if you are in the same generation as me, we grew up with, right? So that's just, such a odd feeling. And, if y'all listen often, I lost my cousin at the end of last year, also, at a very young age. And so from that standpoint, I want to just, speak to, do it and do it now. And that's whatever it is. It doesn't necessarily have to be some monumentous thing, but get your life together, and what I mean by that is find joy in your life. Find, those moments of joy. Make sure that you're living a life that is really, what you want because tomorrow is not promised. And while heartbreaking, it was also so beautiful to see some of the videos that he, made even, very recently that were just talking about legacy, talking about happiness. You want to make sure that you get a chance to experience living a life that you are happy with, before it's all said and done. So I'm gonna move from that because I really don't want to cry. The other theme that has been coming across this week, and that's really what I want to focus on, is community, right? Um, I just finished up on that's why y'all are getting a late episode, but I just finished up my What's Stopping You workshop and had a great conversation around community and how important community is, especially in this season. There's a lot going on in the world, whether it is, financially, politically, personally. There's so much stuff that is going on in this season that is impacting, people as individuals, their families, their work. And because of that, community is so much more important. It is so much more important because it is easy for us to feel isolated. That isolation, oftentimes leads to depression or increased stress. I think that there's something about community that helps us work through things, or, it's so often that, either I'll say something or a friend or a colleague or say something, and then we end up on a tangent about whatever that thing is, not realizing that that other person was experiencing the same thing as us. So build community. If you are looking for a community, you don't have a community, join, every week in the show notes, I put the link to our Facebook community. Join the community. Join the community. It's, a safe space to have conversation, to share. Every once in a while I just do check-ins just to check in, because sometimes we need that. It may be the space that you find that friends that y'all agree to check in on one another, right? So join a community. It could be your church. It could be, a hobby that you enjoy, but join a community. I am, an introvert and a little bit of a loner, but community is just so important. We should not be, completely alone, and understand that sometimes it may seem hard to find those right people, but keep trying, keep, reaching out. And with social media the way that it is, it's so much easier to, to low commitment, find a group of people that are like-minded. Um, find maybe a networking group that is really focused on community, like not just um trying to sell each other something, but really building that community. So I just want you to really find that community, because, you know, through good times it's great to celebrate. Several of my friends and colleagues have had some great successes this week. Several past podcast guests, right? So, both Renika and Dr. Renika Briscoe and Monica Pierre were involved in a book project. So they're in an anthology, The Pursuit of You. They had their e-launch yesterday and hit um top in, I think, over 10 categories, bestseller in over 10 categories with their book. And I mean, I'm so excited about this book. I know it's like going to be amazing. I've been watching them through the process, and everything about it has me intrigued. So I can't wait till I actually um, have my Kindle charging. So when I get on this plane tomorrow, I can sit and start reading this book. So that's going on. Stephanie Mbelu, who was on a previous episode as well, she just did an amazing workshop about operations and operations check and update. So, go check out her page to get more information about that. Just all of these great things going on. You can celebrate with your community, but also when you're struggling, you can turn to your community and they can help you and bring that support. So this week has been very, very community driven. I said I'm getting on a plane. I'm excited to go to Sheila Fluker, also a past guest. She's having a wonderful business retreat starting next week, but I, leave out early so that I can spend some time with Tiffany McKinney, another past podcast guest. So, I am so excited about, just catching up with, different parts of my community, right? So that's exciting. So I really want you to start building community and having those people that you're excited to see, whether, it's, something to celebrate, or if it's something that's, that's going on with you, that you have people to turn to, people that you can rely on, and that can rely on you. So, make sure that we are getting into that community. All right. The next thing I told y'all, I just had this workshop tonight, was stopping you. And that's another theme that I've been seeing a lot. And, a lot of us are stopped, a lot of us are stalled, and we don't want to talk about it. Or we're making, sexy excuses, right? We're making these excuses that sound, they sound good, but also it's that avoidance and it's that fear, right? We're scared of either what being vulnerable or what comes with success or being, having that spotlight on us, right? And so a lot of times we're hiding behind other things instead of, you know, being honest about what being honest and saying we're fearful, being honest and saying, I don't know what the next step is, being honest and saying that, you know, I I need support, right? So I'm just putting that out there. You know, I had this workshop. I will definitely host this workshop again in the future, but I want you to know that you don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to stay stalled. You can work through it and get to the thing that you need to get to, because what I do know is somebody's waiting for you on the other side. Somebody is waiting for you to get them unstuck. And I always love when I can have those conversations with people and help them to get unstuck. And then I see the fruit of that labor, right? And it always feels good afterwards. It's like, nobody wants to wake up and go work out, but after you do that workout, you feel amazing. So I like I said, I will do the workshop again. I did share with the participants of the workshop, I am starting the Get It Done incubator. So starting in August, I am starting the incubator that is going to be 6 months incubator. And it's basically going to be community. So it's going to have that community in place that you have the support. We're going to, each participant is going to get their own custom um, action plan based on what it is they want to get accomplished in that 6 month period. And then we're going to meet monthly and we're going to have accountability. Um, we're going to have accountability sessions as well as coaching tied into this, group coaching tied into this program so that at the end of the 6 months, I want to see everybody having accomplished something, right? Having, gone from point A to point B. And anybody who knows me, and if you don't know me in this way, ask somebody who knows me. Anybody knows me knows that the last thing you want to do is tell me that you have a project that you want to accomplish and then sit on it, because I will be the person and be like, hey girl, what happened to, because I don't want you ever not to get something done. And especially for, reasons that just are not necessary. So a lot of times, we're not getting stuff done just because we might be stuck. We might need somebody to help us, think it through. Or we might just need that little extra push to remind us of who we are and what we're capable of. But you gotta get it done. You gotta get it done. And, I am excited about facilitating the process because I'm that person that people say, "You're inside my head," and I never intend to do that, but they're like, "I hear your voice inside my head." I had, one of my good friends called me the other day because we had discussed the deadline, and deadline had come and gone, and I was giving grace, and she called me and said, "I did it," and sent me a screenshot because she didn't want me to call her and ask her what was going on with it. So I am lending my, particular expertise to this, so that we can see things get done in this time period, so that we can be walking in our purpose work, so that we can, because maybe it's not a work thing that you want to work on. Maybe it's that you're trying to, you know, get healthy, or maybe it's that you're trying to readjust your life so that it's not so chaotic or that you're not sitting in overwhelm. Whatever it is, we're gonna work it out during this 6 month period. So I will share the link to that in the show notes as well. And I hope to see you all there so that we can really, move forward, get things done. And the thing about getting things done is that it gives you that, you know, that great feeling of accomplishment, and it gets you to your happy place. So that's what I have for you guys. If you follow me on social media, I'm gonna be posting all kind of fun stuff when we're at the retreat. This is my second year going. It's amazing. If you don't follow Sheila, make sure you're following her, because when she puts up the notice for the retreat, it fills up fast. So um, when that comes back around, you may want to get your seat, because it is a good time. It's definitely a good time. It is a productive and meaningful time as well. So, and that's the other part about community. Community supports and uplifts one another. All right. That's what I have for you guys. For this week. I will see you guys next week. I might actually do something a little special next week, since I'm going to be with several of the past guests. So you might see a little I might have a little surprise for you guys next week. All right. I will see you next week. Thanks for listening to the Prophets in Pajamas podcast. I hope you got some great tips to start working with these. Want to stay connected? Follow me at Your Workflow on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. For more information about creating balance in your life, register for my upcoming calendar detox challenge at CoachDanniD.com. Don't forget to subscribe, join the community, and book a call to find the workflow program that best fits your needs.